Hello and welcome to Quietly Talking Movies ASMR channel. My name is Matt, and in this video I'll be actually going through some of the latest releases that I got dating 19th of August. So so on the 19th of August there was actually 4 releases that I got. Essentially 5, but I'm still waiting for Apollo 13. That was supposed to actually come yesterday as well, but unfortunately didn't. So all I got at the moment is 4 releases. We got 1 Criterion, 1 BFI, 1 MUBI, and Film Vault steelbook, alongside an additional Criterion, just for the fun of it. Right, so what I'm going to show is essentially a little bit of an unboxing, right? We're actually going to proceed with Perfect Days being unboxed last one, because I think it's actually going to be something special. But let's start with the Film Vault release of Shawshank Redemption. I haven't made a video in a while, so probably most of you are already aware that Film Vault has announced and released a couple of the films that they had in the normal edition, the big magnetic clasp slip box edition with the crystal, numbered crystal, and additional special features. And they released steelbooks versions of that. They were announced, I think, on the 15th of April, and I have purchased them on the same day, on the 15th of April, from Amazon UK. And that was something that I've never actually done before. I usually pre-order my films unless they're an exclusive from HMV. And everything was doing fine until last month, when half of my orders were actually cancelled. What was cancelled for me was 2001 A Space Odyssey. Oh, actually no, 2001 A Space Odyssey wasn't cancelled. It got delivered by Amazon. Scarface was cancelled for me. Jaws was cancelled for me. And Blade Runner was cancelled for me as well. So all I actually got left in my orders list was the Shawshank Redemption, Apollo 13, and 2001 A Space Odyssey. Now, I got 2001 A Space Odyssey without any problems, that's fine. And thankfully, a week after the release, Zavi and other retailers, including Amazon itself, imagine that, Amazon itself has relisted 2001 A Space Odyssey alongside with Scarface. So I purchased Scarface again, and it did come. However, unfortunately, I didn't see any relists of Jaws and Blade Runner, which street date is actually also 19th of August. So I don't have that. And at the same time, to be fair, if it's a steelbook, I'm not even sure if I'm just going to be buying those from scalpers or even second hand, where the price is going to be anything more than £30. Really, I don't think these editions, just the steelbooks, are worth that kind of money. The films like Jaws and Blade Runner, they are being released all the time in various versions, and I'm sure in some way I'm basically just going to sell this steelbooks and buy a nice collector's edition with nice details that is going to actually be in a nice packaging, not that oversized stuff that Film Vault released. The Film Vault releases, the normal ones, was so good if it weren't for the actual size. For God's sakes, don't release oversized boxes. Okay, that's a little bit of a rant from my side. Okay, so let's go for steelbook of Shawshank Redemption. So that's what we actually get. Pinball Shawshank. We got, this is a sticker that is actually applied to the cellophane, so it's going to come off. But essentially the steelbooks are in this acetate o-ring, so they're going to be kind of like in theme with the previous editions and the normal oversized editions, which also had the o-ring. You might have already seen that since I haven't made a video on the 2001 and Scarface, which were the first ones to be released, just like the original Film Vault releases were actually numbered. They had the numbers, right? These editions, the steelbook ones, don't have numbers, and the reason for that is Film Vault didn't get a license to release a steelbook of 1917. So you might have already seen that the only films that were actually available for pre-order on a steelbook form, whether on normal retailers, just the steelbooks, or on Vice Press with the posters for £50, the only films that were actually available were actually Goodfellas, there was Blade Runner, there was Scarface, no 1917, Shawshank Redemption, 2001 Our Space Odyssey, Apollo 13, and Jaws. So since they actually missed one of the releases that they had, they decided to basically forego any numbering moving forward. I'm not sure whether the future releases that we're going to get from Film Vault, if they're actually going to be numbered anymore. Okay, so my order already came with a little bit of a tear on the cellophane, so let's open that. And as I said, that is a sticker, so let's remove it. Come on. Alright, so that's the steelbook of the Shawshank Redemption, and the front cover is essentially the same thing as we saw on the original ones. Right, the quality of the acetate o-ring is also very much the same. It's just smaller. So that's the back, and I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up, but I think it does. What do we have? We got the steelbook with original key art by Matt Ferguson and Flory from Vice Press. Very nice artwork. We got the acetate o-ring. I guess it's an additional thing to advertise, I don't know. And feature film on both 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. I mean, cool. So basically there's nothing else, it's just a steelbook and acetate o-ring. There's no details, there's no other benefits to that, right? So that's the kind of like an overview of what you're getting with 2 discs and the special features that you're getting. Down below you actually get information that it's a Dolby Audio 5.1. I think the film is made in HDR10, and we got the not the outdated 2024 logo, but still the Warner Brothers 2020 logo on this one, just as we do in here as well. Okay, so steelbook fingerprint magnet, so let me put on the gloves just for your pleasure of viewing. Nothing but fingerprints on it. Alright, there we go. As usual, nothing inside, and as you can see, the acetate O-ring actually has the key logos and everything like that. That's why the steelbook itself is actually very slick, and anything, nothing on it. So that's the steelbook. As you can see, it is a bit of a matte finish, which I love. I know that a lot of people are actually into glossy finishes on their steelbooks. However, for some reason, in my case, I love the matte finish on a steelbook. I think it looks much more neat and, in a way, more premium, if I could say that. Steelbooks in of themselves, they're usually considered more premium already, but I think the matte finish on a steelbook is actually great. So, as usual, because of Warner Brothers, we also get the credits on the back. That's the usual for Warner Brothers. And this back artwork is actually new. So all the Film Vault steelbooks are having new back artwork, which wasn't featured in the original releases. If you remember, the original Film Vault releases on the backs had the pictures of the main characters instead. So this is new. Okay. Very nice. I love it. Still, that's, you can see that dot. I think I can scrub it off. Anyway, I'm not gonna try it. I think like the best artwork, they're all very good, by the way. They all exquisite artworks for all of the films. However, I feel like the artwork for 2000: A Space Odyssey is still like top notch. Chef's kiss. Alright, let's open that for you. And that's what we're getting. So we're getting a film on 4K Ultra HD. If I remember correctly, Shawshank Redemption was on a double layer disc. That's correct, double layer, 66 gigabyte disc, so it's not 100 disc. And we also got the Blu-ray. There we go. So that's what you have inside. Right, and here's the back of the steelbook. Very nice. As always, you also have the holders in here in case you actually have another piece of memorabilia like art cards or anything like that, so you can basically pop them in, sell the old stuff, and make this edition that more special. Okay, so that is the Shawshank Redemption Film Vault. Obviously you can't buy this stuff anymore. It got sold out I think on the 16th of April, a day after it got announced. They all got sold out, so there was only like the 2001: A Space Odyssey and Scarface which got a re-release, like a rerun after they got published. So Shawshank Redemption, by the way, if in terms of the film, fantastic. I think everybody knows Shawshank Redemption, I think. Alright, so now we actually come to a film which actually is not a 19th of August release. However, I just picked it up because it's one of the Criterion titles released in the UK that I still miss. I have an overall of, so I think there was 250 releases in UK from Criterion, and I think I got around 220, so there's still like 30 releases that I still have left from the UK that I'm still missing. One of them was Masculin Féminin by Jean-Luc Godard, a film from 1966 starring Jean-Pierre Léaud, and sorry, I'm not very well versed in French, so if I'm butchering the pronunciation, I guess you have to live with that. Yeah, so I already have a couple of releases from Jean-Luc Godard from Criterion. I have the US release of Breathless, and I have Vivre sa vie as well, and I want to say, okay, I have Le Mépris or Contempt from Studio Canal, but it's Studio Canal though. I'm not sure if I have anything else, so this would be my 4th Jean-Luc Godard film. I think I have something else from Jean-Luc Godard, but I'm not really able to say. It's a Blu-ray edition. Price is $17.99. If someone is still looking to buy it, you can still get it very easily. It's not a limited edition. Okay, so let's get our knife and let's open this up. Okay, so that's the film. We have, so the character in the front cover is called Chantal Goya, I believe. I hope so. I haven't seen that film, so I have absolutely no idea. I'm just actually running off whatever I actually see on the back. Right. So just to actually let you know some of the details, right? We got Masculin Féminin. With Masculin Féminin, a ruthless stylist and iconoclast, Jean-Luc Godard introduces the world to the children of Marx and Coca-Cola through a gang of restless youths engaged in hopeless love affairs with music, revolution, and one another. French New Wave icon Jean-Pierre Léaud stars as Paul, an idealistic would-be intellectual struggling to forge a relationship with the adorable pop star Madeleine. Real-life yeah girl Chantal Goya. Through their tempestuous affair, Godard fashions a candid and wildly funny free-form examination of youth culture in pulsating 1960s Paris, mixing satire and tragedy as only Godard can. Right, and here are the technical details. 1966, 104 minutes, black and white, monaural soundtrack, uncompressed, so it's LPCM mono, as is usual with Criterion. Monaural in French with English subtitles and aspect ratio of 1.37 to 1. So I'm not gonna bore you with these special features. In case you're actually wondering, you can just pause it right now and see for yourself. There we go. Les enfants de Max and de Coca-Cola. Okay, it really looks like it's been an ad for Coca-Cola. That's an interesting booklet. It looks like an ad. It reminds me of the booklet that we're getting in Defending Your Life, or... Yes, I think it was Defending Your Life. Okay, that's more like it. That's the booklet. So we're getting an essay by Adrien Martin. Some very nice pictures inside. Hey, is that face actually looks familiar? I don't know. Okay, it's very nice. About the transfer, new 4K digital restoration. So I'm always weary of buying Blu-rays which are based on a 4K digital restorations or whatever 4K restorations, because I'm afraid that a 4K isn't coming somewhere along the line. So very nice disc. It looks like a vinyl. Right, and the disc is probably a 50 gig. Yes, dual layer, 50 gigabytes. And the inner artwork, unfortunately, it's not really an artwork except for being like an orange background for all that. So yeah, that's Masculin Féminin by Jean-Luc Godard, spine number 308 in the Criterion Collection. That's my film number 314 in Criterion Collection. Now we're going back to the releases that have been actually released on the 19th of August. And on the 19th of August, we actually got a new release from Criterion Collection, a film by Jim Jarmusch, who has a number of films already in Criterion Collection. We got Mystery Train, Dead Man, we got Mystery Train, Dead Man, Down by Low, and I think a couple of others. I can't really name them all yet. But another one that was released by Criterion in the past and now got its own UK release is Night on Earth. And let me tell you that from the actual synopsis of this film, I'm really, really interested in seeing this. So let's go through it before I open it. 5 cities, 5 taxicabs, a multitude of strangers in the night. Jim Jarmusch assembled an extraordinary international cast of actors, including Gina Rowlands, who, by the way, recently passed away, an actress of, John Cassavetes films, including Gina Rowlands, Winona Ryder, Armin Mueller-Stahl, Beatrice Dalle, and Roberto Benigni. For this quintet of transitory tales of urban displacement and existential angst, all staged as encounters between cabbies and the fares. Spanning time zones, continents, and languages, Night on Earth winds its course through scenes of uproarious comedy, nocturnal poetry, and somber fatalism. Set to a moody soundtrack by Tom Waits, Jarmusch's lovingly askew view of humanity from the passenger seat makes for one of his most charming and beloved films, a freewheeling showcase for the cosmopolitan range of his imagination. Fantastic. Yeah, so I think among all the other things when we actually get as a special features, what we actually get is actually going to be a booklet, and I think it's a pretty thick one. We got essays by filmmakers and authors and critics Tom Anderson, Paul Auster, Bernard Eisenschitz, Goffredo Foffi, and Peter von Bach, and the lyrics to Tom Waits' original songs for the film. The film was made in 1999. It has a runtime of 128 minutes. It was shot in color. It has 2.0 surround soundtrack, which led to believe is a DTS HD master audio. Its languages include English, French, Italian, and Finnish, all with English subtitles, and it has an aspect ratio of 1.78 to 1. Alright, let's pop that bad boy open. Okay. There we go. There we go. Night on Earth, a film by Jim Jarmusch. At some point I'm going to make a whole new video on Criterion Collection and probably my collection overall, but I'm still waiting and figuring out how to really present my collection. I probably want to rearrange my collection on my shelves so that it's actually going to make a little bit more sense than what it does right now. But yeah, then you're going to see all the films that I have by Jim Jarmusch, because outside of the Criterion Collection releases, except for Mystery Train, which I still miss, I do have, I think, probably two of my favorite Jarmusch films. I haven't seen too much of them, but I love Partisan, and the previous one, Only Lovers Left Alive. I have those films as well, and I love them. Let's open that up, and it seems that again, instead of in artwork, we just actually get a plain background. This time it's a yellow, probably just to denote the American yellow cabs that you have, taxis. Alright, that's the disc, and it's a dual layer, 50 gig. And here's the booklet. Nice, thick. Includes all the things that you want, including the cast and divided by the cities that are actually happening. And it seems to me that really we're getting casts which are in specific, so it seems like the cast in Helsinki, it's really Finnish cast all along. Very nice. Yeah, so we're guessing booklet, that's Gina Rowlands, rest in peace. Armin Muhlstal. That looks like Giancarlo Esposito. Very nice, thick booklets, very nice. Love that about it. That's why you buy Criterion Collection. This booklets, when they actually do booklets, they are actually really nice. Even some of the folders that you have in Criterion Collection, they're made very nice. Okay. Really looking forward to actually seeing this. So that was Night on Earth, a film by Jim Jarmusch, made in 1991, Criterion Collection 401, making a UK debut on the 19th of August. Alright. Okay, next up we actually got a very, I should say, at least to me, it was a very, it was a very surprising release. I was not expecting BFI to actually go and make a release like that. I once asked, you know, if they're planning to make like some newer releases of the Kurosawa films, like with the new Scannable cases, and I got a response that they actually don't plan on releasing films like that. But yet here we are. It's one of, I have seen 3 Kurosawa films until now. I know it's not that much. I know there's plenty of other films that I yet have to see, and in all honesty, I have almost all Kurosawa films already. So cut me some slack, alright? However, out of the films that I've seen, and I've seen Rashomon, Ikiru, and Seven Samurai, I think I liked Ikiru best. Seven Samurai is a fantastic, great film, magnificent. However, Ikiru had this emotional impact on me that I really loved, and for that I actually value this film higher than Seven Samurai. I know that I'm due on a rewatch for all of those films, and I really love Ikiru. And in fact, I already have a Criterion Collection release of Ikiru. I was not expecting BFI to release that film, to be fair. And here we are, in this beautiful new scannable release of Ikiru, with 2 Blu-rays inside, a bunch of special features. Look at the number of special features, seriously. I just had to have it. It's like such a good film. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Criterion Collection one. So apologies for the sounds. I'm just gonna roll on my chair a bit and pick up the Criterion Collection. We're just gonna do a little bit of a comparison. All right? Okay, just give me a second. There we go. So that's the new BFI release in the UK, and that's the US import of Criterion Collection's Ikiru. And Ikiru in Criterion Collection has been available for quite some time in the United States. That's the artwork that we're getting. We're actually getting the main character, whose name is Kanji Watanabe, on the iconic scene as he's swinging on the swing, essentially. So the first printing of Ikiru in the US has been in 2015, so it's already 9 years old. Not this one specifically, but it's been in Criterion Collection for 9 years. Yeah, so that is the new release from BFI. When it comes to the special features, do we actually get anything different, right? So what's the difference here? What we get is a new restored. So let's go here for Criterion first. we're getting a new restored 4K digital transfer with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. Okay. On the BFI release, we're getting restored in 4K and presented in high definition film. So essentially, the transfer is the same. It's still a 4K digital transfer. However, for Ikiru in 2015, that was new. For BFI, it's not new anymore. When it comes for the soundtrack, we have uncompressed monaural soundtrack on the Criterion Collection release. There is no mention of that in special features on BFI. However, we can see that the disc 1 of the film includes LPCM monaural soundtrack, so it's basically the same. We're getting audio commentary from 2003 by Stephen Price. Okay, and in this BFI release, we're getting audio commentary by film critic Adrian Martin. So Adrian Martin, if you actually remember, has already featured as being a writer of an essay for Masculin Féminin on the Criterion release. Okay. And we're getting a message from Akira Kurosawa for Beautiful Movies 2000, 90-minute documentary produced by Kurosawa. Okay, and here we're getting Akira Kurosawa, It Is Wonderful to Create, Ikiru, 2002, 42 minutes, made as part of the Toho Masterwork series and featuring interviews with Kurosawa, script supervisor Torio Nagami, writer Hideo Oguni, and actor Takashi Moshimura, and others. We're getting, okay, so that's different film or documentary inside, so it's already different, like on so many levels. We're actually getting different audio commentary, we're getting a different documentary inside as well. What else are we getting? Productions and featuring interviews with, okay, that was still the other one. Documentary on Ikiru from 2003 created. Oh, actually, it is the same thing. It is already featured in the Ikiru. Okay, it's a bit later. And it says it's actually from 2003 on Criterion, but it says it's actually from 2002 on BFI, so who to believe, right? Okay, so it's the same thing. So we're getting that and trailer. Okay. So let's look at the BFI, because that's it when it comes to Ikiru by Criterion. We're also getting an essay by critic, one essay by critic and travel writer Pico Iyer, in a reprint from critic Donald Ritchie's 1965 book, The Films of Akira Kurosawa. Okay, so that's it, what we actually get in the Criterion release, and the BFI has still a number of other features. Okay, so apart from the It Is Wonderful to Create, we're also getting introduction by director Alex Cox, 2003, 15 minutes. Alex Cox, if you know, he's already being featured in the Criterion Collection as a director of films like Reaper Man. Okay, so what's next? It's Ours, Whatever They Say, 1972, 39 minutes, a community action film by Jenny Barraclough, telling of the battle fought by a group of mothers against a London council to establish a playground for children on a derelict site. So it seems like a completely irrelevant feature, but as you know, fighting against a London council to establish a playground for children on a derelict site, it is almost on par the same plot line as we're actually getting in Ikiru, right? If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. Okay, so we're getting a almost short film, community action film, essentially. Okay, what else do we get? The People, 1970, 22 minutes, Intended for school leavers, this COI film shows the vast range and variety of jobs available within the civil service, highlighting the ways in which civil servants help individuals, the community in general, and Parliament. Okay, we get an original theatrical trailer and image gallery. Alright. An image gallery. That's something we don't get in the Criterion release. Okay, so to go forward with the comparisons, what we're getting here, that's the Criterion release, and we have not a booklet but a fold-out, which is okay, but still it's worse than a booklet, let's be honest, right? We all want a booklet instead of a fold-out. Unless the fold-out makes sense for the film. Okay, and the disc inside. And Takeshi Shimura in the background. Beautiful film. Okay, so that's the Criterion release. Now let's go and unbox the BFI release. Alright, so there it is. Very nice colorful case. BFI logo on the top. We got Ikiru, Akira Kurosawa. We got the PG rating logo. And that's the front. Also a very nice image, to be honest. If you see an image of that, like this, for a Akira Kurosawa film, you want to buy it. One thing that is actually, in terms of the cover for this release, annoys me is the certificate logo on the right side, because look at the actual title of the film. It's as if they didn't basically make space for the logo in the, making it all justified and level with the film center. They basically had to make space for the logo among the title, instead of basically putting the PG logo somewhere up along the sides so that the title is centered alongside with everything else. But that kind of baffles me. Okay, that's the back. A little bit of a cream color, paper-like feel to it in terms of the texture. Most likely. So that's interesting. So as I said, we're actually getting 2 discs in this release, most likely to make way for the 2 additional special features that we're getting, like the film ones from BFI, because we're actually getting a disc 1, which is a Blu-ray 50GB disc, most likely with the original film. And we get a disc 2, which is Blu-ray 25GB, most likely for the other features. Okay, let's open it up. Alright, so that's what we're getting. And we do get a booklet, not a fold-out, with the BFI release, with writing, which wasn't actually... didn't say who is actually writing the booklet, right? It didn't actually say anything. No, there's no information about the booklet, but we do get an essay by Tony Raines. We do get a little bit of imagery. We got information about the film, credits and cast. And we got a contemporary review from 1959. Not sure how contemporary it is, because the film was released in 1952. So it's already 7 years after, but it's a review by John Gillett that was published first on in Monthly Film Bulletin in 1959, reprinted by Confirmation of Sight and Sound magazine. Okay, that's a new review. And we also get a Shimura Takashi, To Live a Wonderful Life by James Masaki. So essentially we are getting another essay about the actor Shimura Takashi. Fantastic. So we're already getting like 3 writings in here. And we also get information, as always with BFI. We got the production information about the special features that were included in the release. Very nice. That looks like a poem. Doesn't it? That looks like a poem. Yes, so Tony Dykes. Who's Tony Dykes? Tony Dykes, a freelance writer and film researcher, wrote a poem about something. Okay, and we also get information about the presentation. So Ikiru was scanned by Toho Company Limited at 4K resolution using a 35mm fine grain duplicating positive, and is presented here in high definition with original 1.0 mono soundtrack sourced from an optical master. Technical producers Douglas Way and Peter Stanley from BFI. Okay, so that's the standard that we're getting. The booklet with the new releases. We're getting a film Ikiru on disc, and a other smaller disc 25 gig is essentially special features. And unfortunately, but as is usual with BFI, we don't get any inner artwork on the releases, so it's basically blank. Yes, so now that you have those 2 releases, which one do you keep, right? Why not both? Great stuff. Alright, so last couple of minutes we're gonna spend in the company of Koji Yakusho in the film Perfect Days. So I had the pleasure of watching Perfect Days in cinemas thanks to MUBI Go subscription that I have, and it was probably my second Wim Wenders film. Previously I've only seen Wings of Desire, and I want to say about Perfect Days, it is perfect. If you look on the reviews and everybody who's been watching this film, everybody is in love with that film. Kind of like low-key in love with this film, because it portrays a life of a toilet cleaner in Tokyo, and it basically goes on showing his daily routines, and it is just that, only that, and so much of that. And it is slow-paced, beautifully shot, with an underlying drama hidden behind the perfect acting by Koji Yakusho, who, if I'm not mistaken, won the award for Best Actor on the Festival of Cannes, I think. I even got a logo of that. I don't think you're gonna be able to see that, but it basically says Festival de Cannes Best Actor 2023. So I almost pressed on buying the 4K Ultra HD edition from Criterion, because they released that almost at the same, announced that almost at the same time as MUBI released their release. However, MUBI at the beginning really announced only Blu-ray. So the Blu-ray is in sale for quite some time, I think for over a month now. And obviously I want to have, if there's a film that I love, I want to have the best version possible of that, right? So I was opting to basically, okay, I'm just gonna skip the movie release and I'm just gonna wait for the Criterion release instead. And lo and behold, a couple of days after Criterion announced their 4K release of Perfect Days, MUBI announced they're doing a 4K release of Perfect Days as well. And I was so happy. And then, to my surprise, they announced that it's actually going to be a collector's edition. So it's not just a slipcover version of the film, we're actually getting a slip box with art cards and booklet. Perfect. Right, so that's the main cover with the original poster for the film. So obviously the Criterion release has a specific new artwork, which is essentially almost like a screenshot of a scene from the film of the main character cleaning a toilet. But this is the main poster. As you can see, that's MUBI release, 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. That's the spine, which I'm not satisfied with in the slightest because it's off-center. Please, MUBI, pay attention next time. If you're having a spine on a slip box, make sure that the logos and the titles align with the center. Because right now it's a little bit like off to the right, and it's my OCD kicks in, unfortunately. And that's the back, which usually goes like this, that it essentially says, and the notes on the film, the special features are always listed like this. We got a couple of screenshots, we got the technical details, crew, cast and crew, and so forth. So let's say, what do we have? The acclaimed latest from writer-director Wim Wenders, Paris, Texas, Wings of Desire. Perfect Days is a luminous reflection on the beauty found in everyday life. Winner of the Best Actor Award at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, Koji Yakusho, who starred in 13 Assassins, as well as Very Famous, and that's something I'm adding, in Very Famous film The Cure. Koji Yakusho stars as Hirayama, a contemplative middle-aged man who lives a life of modesty and serenity, spending his days balancing his job as a dutiful caretaker of Tokyo's numerous public toilets with his passion for music, literature, and photography. As we join him on his structured daily routine, a series of unexpected encounters gradually begin to reveal a hidden past that lies behind his otherwise content and harmonious life. Featuring an unforgettable soundtrack of classic rock and pop, this is a tender, shimmering, and ultimately life-affirming marvel, nominated for Best International Film at the 96th Academy Awards. Amazing. It's an amazing film, and I'm so happy to have it. Let's see what MUBI has for us in here. There we go. Very nice. Slip box. and inside, so it's like a semi-rigid slip box. It's not on the thickest side, but it's not the flimsy one either. Okay, so that's the film. 4K, as always from MUBI. It's a scannable case. Alright, so just to let you know what we actually have in terms of like the special features. We got an interview with director Wim Wenders and cast. We got a short film by Wim Wenders called Somebody Comes Into the Light. We got a companion booklet and art cards. Alright. When it comes to the technical details, the film's runtime is 124 minutes. We got an audio aspect ratio of 1.33 to 1, so it's gonna be lettered, you know, with black bars on the side of the screen. It's presented in HDR10 with a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 soundtrack, and the Blu-ray 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray is 100GB disc. Fantastic. And we also got a inner cover. That's the film on 4K with a very nice artwork. That's the Blu-ray and the 4K. And I can confirm it's a triple layer disc. Maybe let me just show you the inner artwork inside with a little bit of an ad by MUBI. If you know, MUBI first came into prominence as a streaming service, so they still try to basically come to our streaming service. I have MUBI subscription. I'm not seeing many things on there. I'm just using that for the MUBI Go and the 1 year worth of tickets that I'm getting. However, being a physical media collector, I'm just love to actually get some of the nice and crisp Blu-ray and 4K editions that they have. Okay, we're getting art cards. Let's check them out. If I'll be able to slide them off. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I can't slide them off. They're too tight. Sorry, I had to rip that off. They're packed so tight. Okay. That's one of the art cards. Face flat. Another photo. Look at this. He goes a art card with instructions on how to make Hirayama's flower pot paper. Fantastic. Here it is, Hirayama reading. Hirayama saying goodbye. Hirayama enjoying the morning after waking up. And here we go back again. Great art cards. And here's the booklet, which already in the back you can see the nice tic-tac-toe motif that you know from the film. And we got a companion booklet, which is quite long. So let's see what we have here. Okay. Quote from Nina Simone's in Feeling Good. We got an introduction. Something else before. There's an introduction. What's that? Okay, so Over Films Film Festival participation. This film has been submitted to numerous film festivals around the world, including 76 Cannes Film Festival. Okay, so basically shows you what festivals did the film actually was presented. We get the information about the main actor, Koji Yakusho, and awards and films that he participated in. A lot of that, 3 pages of that. Seems to be an essay, Who is Hirayama? Here is a letter written by Wim Wenders to the character Hirayama about how Wim Wenders misses his character. Here is Mr. Wim Wenders himself with filmography, as well as some of the films that he recently made. Obviously, Perfect Days, documentary, Anselm. We getting The Assault of the Earth, Pina. Obviously, a lot of other films. Buena Vista Social Club, Bis ans Ende der Welt, or Until the End of the World, Wings of Desire. Obviously, Paris, Texas, which very soon is going to get its 4K Ultra HD release by Curzon. Already pre-ordered that, sold my Blu-ray, can't wait for the edition. Okay, here is information about Koji Yakusho receiving his Cannes Best Actor Award. Seems to be a little bit more about the cooperation between Koji Yakusho and Wim Wenders. That's a very nice booklet, I have to say. The paper is very nice, and it's not a typical booklet like with essays only. It is quite nice and specific. Some writing in Japanese, but also like with probably English translation. And there's a lot of that. Do we get information about the cast and the staff? We got the information about the songs featured in the film, like The House of the Rising Sun by The Animals, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. We got, what else do we got? Pale Blue Eyes by Velvet Underground, Perfect Day by Lou Reed. We got Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison, Feeling Good by Nina Simone, as I've already mentioned. It seems that another about location scouting by Takuma Takasaki, who is the screenplay writer and producer on Perfect Days. Got information about another producer, as well as information about Tokyo toilets. Oh my god, that booklet is fantastic. As well as some of the most famous Tokyo toilets and their architects. I mean, that booklet is, oh my god, it goes into the second page. More toilets to see. A third page of toilets. My gosh, that is a perfect booklet. Wow. Wow, I lack words to describe this. That is a great booklet. We got essays, we got poems, we got everything in here. Information about the cast, the crew, about the awards season it had, the film, about the things featured in the film, like the Tokyo toilets and what they're actually doing in there. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, okay, I see that we're a little over an hour and 5 minutes, but essentially that would be the end of my showcase and what we got in the 19th of August 2024 releases. So as I said, it was a very good week, and I can't wait to actually see those movies again. Perfect Days, Ikiru, Shawshank Redemption, and Night on Earth. That was a great week overall. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a comment down below if you've actually seen any of those films already, if you have actually picked up any of those films this week. Is there anything that you'd actually like to see more on the channel or more films? Please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. But with that being said, as I'm actually releasing that video on Wednesday, I'll see you next time on a Friday with my continuation of my video about Warner Brothers Ultimate Collector's Edition that I have. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio, bye bye.